This is Alumni Spotlight. This week's episode, we have Kristina Bond, 2012 graduate from the Queens Women's Swimming Program. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, while you were at Queens, you were involved in so many different things. You were in student government, honor council, campus women's organization. You're also a tour guide, so you kind of did everything. Now you're currently a director of operations and associate head coach at Team Charlotte Swimming, as well as swimming program director and varsity head coach at Providence Day in Charlotte. So tell me about the process of what brought you to Queens. Was competitive swimming at the collegiate level always something that you were really interested in doing?
I was actually at Queens prior to the team being started. So I was at Queens all 4 years. I ended up there completely it was random, but I was going down to North Carolina to visit a bunch of schools. We were staying with my family friends in Gastonia, and their daughter was a senior at Queens. I didn't even plan to look at the school, and she was like, "You really should come by. It's really great." And so I was just like, I can't say no, like we're staying at your house. So I went over and toured and fell in love with the small vibe, big city. I grew up just outside of Boston, so I knew I wanted to be in a city environment. And Charlotte to me was like the smaller, cleaner version of Boston. And I knew I wanted to be in the South because I grew up in really cold winters in the Northeast, and I was looking to get away from that. So I ended up touring, liked it a lot, toured a few other schools, and nothing really felt the same. I mean, people would just walk by and they knew who Megan was and they just wanted to meet me. It was crazy. The environment was so unlike anywhere else I went. And so that's how I kind of ended up there. I swam growing up. I did a lot of different sports. Looking back on it, I don't know what my parents were thinking. I played year-round softball. I swam. I told my mom I wanted to join the basketball team one year. I pole vaulted one year. It was very bizarre, all of the things that I did. I don't know if I was just bored easily or I couldn't pick one thing, but I just did a bunch of stuff and never really picked one. And then at Queens, there were a bunch of girls there that all really liked swimming, and Queens didn't have a team. So we asked if we could kind of start, a swim club, and did that and got a mentor, Coach Baker. I think she's still there. Chris Baker, she was our little coach, and we kind of got started in the old 24-yard pool that doesn't exist anymore. And I guess the rest is history.
Yeah, well, it's remarkable that that's the history, because that's less than 10 years ago. And, that was back when it was the club was just starting, and now they're, just perennial national champions. And they have a beautiful, if you've seen the new swim, the new pool they have in the Levine Center, it's a great facility.
It is a wonderful facility. I wish I had the opportunity to swim there. It's crazy. The coach, I can't speak highly enough about Coach Dugdale and all he's done for the program. He was an absolutely perfect choice, both from a coaching perspective and from a mentoring of his swimmers perspective. I mean, there's so many of us that he will just randomly call me at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, just wanting to chat still to this day. And it's really neat how far they've come. But what's also funny is Jeff totally called it too. He had all the girls that were on the club team meet him for coffee, and he said, we're starting this team. We're really excited. We'd love for you all to be a part of it. He's like, we're going to be national champions in 5 years. And we were all like, wow, this guy's got, big goals. Okay, Coach Dugdale, sure. And then sure enough, 5 years later, exactly, they were national champions, both men and women. It was crazy.
And it's still national champions to this day. That's an unreal story. Well, I mean, you were involved in so many things at Queens in addition to athletics. I kind of asked this question because I see the correlation between these student athletes, the former student athletes that had such a busy lifestyle in college, and it kind of translated to a lot of success after college. And do you ever think of some of the success that you've had with your titles at Team Charlotte and also at Providence Day has your time in college kind of paid dividends toward working toward that success?
Definitely. I think as an athlete specifically, you learn a lot of great time management skills, scheduling stuff. I mean, I don't love that my body automatically wakes me up at 5:30 thanks to all those years of morning practice, but you know, I get up and I get going, and it's interesting. You keep yourself so busy in college and then it doesn't seem like a chore as an adult. Like I loved everything that I did at Queens. Like I enjoyed being on the honor council, student government. I was involved in high school as well. It was always really fun for me. And giving tours, you know, I just wanted kids to see how great Queens was from my perspective, because I had excellent tour guides and admissions counselors, and I will never be able to not walk backwards. So that's a great life skill, you know. But it's interesting now. A lot of what I do ties in very closely to not just being busy, but a lot of the organizational skills and scheduling stuff. Learning at a young age and being really involved with stuff. You work with a lot of different people. You get to know a lot of personality types. So I definitely think having the opportunity to be involved in so many things, and really professors and coaches alike understanding and wanting people to be able to be involved in multiple things is really unique to Queens, and not having to make choices like that. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you kind of mentioned a few things from your time there, but you know, is there any particular moments or memories, whether it was from swimming or just from life as a student at Queens, that still sticks out to you, being that you're still in Charlotte and you're still local?
Yeah, no, I love the weather here. I will never leave here. I left once right after I graduated, and I was like, no, I think I'll stay. I was actually just telling this story to somebody the other day, completely unrelated to swimming, but I don't even know if they still do this, but back when I was there, you had to like wait in line to get to submit your forms for your JBIP trip, like. And so we had to go to McEwen and like wait in line overnight. And it was the same night as a night class. I had a Wednesday night class in McEwen. And we had to get in line really early because as a swimmer, I could only do certain trips that were in the summer when I wasn't training. So we got in line like first, and I had emailed my professor and I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I know I've already missed one class and I'm not supposed to miss another one, but I have to get this trip. Like, I have to go to Greece because it's the only one that works with my schedule. And she was like, the class was in McEwen, and she brought all of our work out to us and left the door open and taught. And like, I remember doing the like project for like diversity and education. We made this poster. She gave us credit for everything. And looking back on it, that was the absolute coolest thing, because I was like, had I not been at a small school with 20 kids in my class with a professor who knew my name and cared about me as a whole person, I don't think that would have ever happened. But I was just recently telling that story, and I'm looking back on it like, she probably thought I was crazy, but I will always remember that poster and that presentation we had to give on that random. That's really cool.
That is really cool. That's awesome. I'm happy you had some great memories at Queens. This has been Kristina Bond, a 2012 graduate from the Queens Women's Swimming Program. Thank you so much. Really, really happy to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.